Ralph Mann, Man's Outdoors. I thought I'd give you a quick run through of the garden. We've got stretches all the way from up here. We've got 3 rows over, a lot of container bags, and then on beyond is the cornfield. So here we go. I was just kidding. We'll actually do a walkthrough now. Ralph Mann, Man's Outdoors. If you would, give us a like, thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. We're going to go ahead and move to the south end of the garden and start with our asparagus. The asparagus is getting overgrown. It's more of a spring vegetable, but we are still getting asparagus, and we're just letting it grow so that it will seed. There's a nice big one right there, a little bit more. There's another one up inside, but these little balls will turn red, and those will be seeds that will drop off, and that will be our harvest for next year. Here's some good ones right here that we'll harvest and eat, but we are just letting this part grow because it is basically past its harvest season. This also is pretty much past its harvest season. We've still got some onions, a little spinach in here, a little kale, and so we're still getting some from this, but this is kind of past its prime. On this side, we've got, if I can get myself out of the shadow, we've got strawberries and we've got onions. Onions help deter the pests from the strawberries, but we've got some giant onion heads in here, and we've got some pretty nice strawberries as well. We love coming down here and eating while we walk the garden. The cabbage didn't do so well. We've got a couple of them that are still trying to put on heads, but we got our cabbage out probably a month and a half too late, and so some of them are getting eat up by bugs. This really should have been out probably back in February, but we were slow on that, so that's on us. We've got bags here. We ran drip lines through it, but we've got orange bell peppers. This one's turning. I don't know if you can see it in the picture. We've got green. We've got a bunch more right here. We've got 3 sets of cherry tomatoes. Some of these are starting to turn. We've already picked several, but we've got 3 of those. We've got peppers down here. There's more bell peppers. So we've already harvested some. We've got jalapenos. This was our carrots and well, there was a bunch of carrots and onions, and we have already harvested all of that. The other side of this, you can walk up inside it, and of course we have more onions and strawberries. Look at the size of that thing. The next bed that has not been, well, we harvested half of it, but these are walking onions. They will grow up, and then they will form other onions on the tops. When they fall over into the ground, those will root themselves. We also have a stray cherry tomato that just decided to show up. Seed left over from a previous year, and we've got more walking onions on this side. This big row is our winter squash. It is growing up cattle panels. Here are some of them right here. They're hanging on to the cattle panels and growing up off the ground so that we can avoid some bugs. This is lettuce that has been replanted. We've harvested all of it, but it's under a shade cloth, and it's supposed to be heat tolerant. But we've got potamarins in here. We've got butternut. We also have acorn squash, and let me just show you. We got a cluster of 4 right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're growing like crazy. This is raspberries, this giant mess, and so we've got raspberries here. Of course, this is also more of the winter squash on this side. We've got watermelons growing on this half. along with some squash in the middle. We've got orange okra, and they're putting on. It's finally gotten good and hot, and so they're starting to grow. We've got a couple of those here. Susan's planted flowers in the mix to help attract bugs and to pull some of the bad bugs away from the plants. We've got more okra here and here and flowers. On the other side, we've got more onions. That's a flower, and I forgot what it is. So is that. We've got sunflowers in here. We've got tomatoes. Our tomatoes are getting overgrown. These are indeterminates, and we didn't put the bar high enough. They are way outgrowing the bar. We've got some fresh basil mixed in, which is to help with bugs because of the smell. More onions. There's another giant basil. And we've got tomatoes inside here. We've got more tomatoes, and purple onions are running all down through the center. Also, again, to try to help deter pests because of the smell. This was a beautiful sunflower, but it's starting to die back. On this side, we've got some giant Italian heirloom tomatoes that should be turning here in a couple of days. We've got Romas and a boatload of them. We've got more over here, and here's more dill, and some more of that. I forgot what it is. Nope, I'm sorry, that's basil. That may be dill. Somebody tell me in the comments below. We've got more tomatoes. As I said, they are outgrowing where we pruned and tried to tie them up. On this bed is bush beans down the side, flowers across the bottom and the top, and then we've got, of course, we got our drip irrigation in here, but these vines are all sweet potatoes. We've got 3 bell peppers right down each side of the bush beans, and then this is also bush beans on this row. This bed is more tomatoes. This cherry tomato is covered up, and it has outgrown the cattle panel, so I'm not sure what we're going to do about that, but I keep trying to string up more string to help hold these things up, and we are getting tomatoes out the wazoo. So we've got lots of them, and this continues to grow. I'm really proud of our green beans. These are rattlesnake pole beans, and we also have some purple pole beans, and it's really nice to walk in under the shade to pick them. Let's go around here on the other side real quick. We've got more herbs here, and then we have another row of bush beans, and in the middle we've got more winter squash. Look like butternut to me, and some more sunflowers that are dying off. Back at the back end of our raspberries, we've got grow bags. These are bush beans that we have planted in grow bags. First time trying it. I've got an onion experiment going on here. I'll try and leave a link down below, but I cut off the bottom of an onion, just put the roots in it, and it's already starting to bulb. We'll see what actually happens. But these are purple hull peas. Down here on this side, well, let's just take a look. We've got more sweet potatoes growing along this side. We've got herbs growing along this side of the path, and Susan decided to put in the path so that we could get beans from this side and get cucumbers from this side, because this is a wall of cucumbers. We have been picking a lot of them, and look at all the blooms. I told Susan we're probably going to have 30 to 40 cucumbers next week. We've got a number of them. There's a decent sized one already started, and we picked a bunch today, and there are some others that are getting big, so we have access to both sides of this. There's another one. These are the jades, I think is what it's called. But on this end in grow bags, we have more sweet potatoes. First time growing sweet potatoes in grow bags, but we've got them in the garden. We wanted to try it here as well. So all of these are sweet potatoes. The empty bags are bags where we had already harvested potatoes. You can check out that video. And the other side of the green beans, we've got squash growing here. It's been a little slow to take off. I think it's because of all the shade. The zucchini took over first. And we harvested, I don't know, 4 or 5 today. There are more on right now. And there's several in here that we'll probably get in the next couple of days. That's not all. These small bushes are blueberries. And these 2 trees are pears. We've got 2 apple trees. We've got blackberries on the trellis up there and a giant blueberry bush. Those I said are blueberries as well. And there's our cornfield. This was a new experiment this year. We'd never done this. We have planted corn, purple hull peas, and squash and pumpkins. I did put a drip line in here, so we just run the hose down here and let it drip. We put up the cattle panels to help hold it all together, because you can see that the pumpkins and the winter squash are growing up the cattle panels, which is also going to help hold the corn in, because we've had an issue as narrow as this cornfield is, that when the wind blows too bad, it's liable to blow the corn over, and then you lose pollination. You also lose the harvest. We've got lots of tendrils here where it's connecting, more plants coming on. Down on this end, the corn is even higher, and we've got some really good, well, looky there. There's a nice little pumpkin coming on. We've got another one right here. We've got more squash hanging on the vine, and here as well. These things are everywhere. I don't know if you can see that one. Yep, there it is. But we are getting covered up, and the purple hull peas, some of them I saw earlier, are trying to put on pods, so hopefully we'll get something out of that. As we come around the backside, there's another squash, and the corn is doing pretty well. Doesn't have silk yet, but this is June the 13th. There's another great squash. This has impressed me. I wasn't sure what to expect. We watched some other gardeners who had tried it, and Susan and I thought, well, what the heck? Let's just give it a try. But, I mean, that's wider than my hand right now. We've got another one. My apologies, I don't think that was near as fast as I had planned on it to be. But give us comments down below. Let you know what we could do better, how we could improve it, what you think. Also, if you don't mind, hit that subscribe button. We're getting real close to the 1,000 subscribers, and it really means a lot. Give us a comment. Let us know how we can do better or what you think. Till next time, God bless.